This is the Donatello David bronze sculpture. The piece we have here is the David sculpture by Donatello, not the marble one, but the bronze one. The sculpture was made by Donatello in the 1440s. To be exact, it was 1445, and it was created in Florence, Italy. Donatello was a famous Renaissance artist during his time. He was commissioned by Cosimo Medici to build the statue for him. He started work on the statue in the late 1440s, and the artwork was finished in 1450. It took 5 years of casting, building, and bending metal so that the statue could be created. Cosimo suggested that he use bronze to make the statue, even though that would take a lot of Donatello's time and it'd be very expensive. Cosimo suggested bronze because he thought it looked the best and that it really displayed power and elegance for Florence. It took 19 years for the artwork to finally be displayed in Cosimo's court, since he had many other artists before Donatello working on it, and Donatello took much more time than he thought. Millions of people passed by the statue since Cosimo's palace was also a marketplace, and he placed it at the center of it. Donatello was inspired to build the statue based on the Battle of David versus Goliath. The sculpture is made out of bronze, which, as I mentioned, was very expensive for the time, and it's the first ever bronze statue. The sculpture is based on Samuel chapter 17, verse 54. In the verse, it mentions how David severed the head off Goliath and carried it into town, only taking the head with him. The sculpture shows David standing on top of the head of Goliath, only wearing boots and a helmet, to show how puny and frail he was compared to Goliath. This sculpture shows his victory over the battle, as it is shown that he's standing over the head of Goliath. Oddly enough, he carries a sword in his right hand and not a sling. This is because he used the sword to chop off Goliath's head. It still is interesting to me, since he did kill Goliath using a sling and 5 stones. He carries a stone in his left hand, referencing that he used stones and a sling to kill Goliath. Sculptures during the Renaissance like this one show the references to Greek and Roman sculptures in the form of making David look like a gladiator, and like other Greek and Roman sculptures, it's a nude statue. Even though Donatello embraced some weird parts of humanism and Greek and Roman culture when creating the statue, it's still a very interesting piece and shows a very unique take on the David versus Goliath battle. To me, this image sparks curiosity and fighting prowess, and here are our sources.